Hello and welcome to today's Delta Credit Tip. So the infamous 609 dispute. What is it? Does it work? Is it real? How does it help you in your credit restoration process? Well, stay tuned. We'll let you know how on today's Delta Credit Tip. Hello and welcome back to today's Delta Credit Tip. So today we talk about that infamous 609 loophole, secrets to all credit repair technique, make it all disappear, mumbo jumbo. And we're going to go really into the law and tell you what it really says. Okay, now the one thing that I will mention about 609 is that it is an actual law, okay, and it does exist. But unless you've actually read the law, how are you going to know if people are telling you the truth? Don't even take my word for it, okay? Go to the link to our website. There's a spot where you can click to get a copy of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Look up 609 and read it. And you will see very plainly that a lot of what you see online is like Flavor Flav used to say, don't believe the hype, because that's all it really is, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to dive right on into 609. We're going to go over literally line by line in the beginning, tell you what 609 really is and how it can help you in your credit repair process so that you're not making mistakes along the way. Okay? So in the very beginning, it tells you what this law really is all about, what this section of the Fair Credit Reporting Act really is all about. And really, this section is about what should you as a consumer be disclosed about your credit from the bureaus and from lenders when they're pulling your credit. That's really what this law is all about. It's not even really about disputing at all, right? It doesn't tell you anything other than what you should be disclosed. So for instance, in A1, the very beginning, it simply tells you that when you dispute or when you request for information from your credit report, they have to give it to you at least once a year. Okay? That's A1, that you get a copy of your credit report and the information that's in it. A2 goes on to say that they have to then identify the source of the information. So the items that are on your credit report, who put it on there? That's who they have to disclose. Okay? A3, they then have to identify all the people that pulled your credit. Okay? They have to give you, for a certain period of time, how many people are interested in my credit and have pulled from the credit bureaus. Now A4, what they're going to look for are the dates, the payees, and the amounts of the checks that were adverse on your credit report. Okay? And then in A5, they're going to give you a record of all the inquiries, period. And then they're going to give you, very last, the opportunity to know that you can buy your credit score because, again, the bureaus, being for-profit companies, don't necessarily have to give you their secret formula for the credit score, nor do they have to even give you the score unless you pay for it. Nowhere in there was anything said about you get from the bureaus, from 609, a copy of my application, what I signed to open the account, how much money was accumulated from one period of time to the next. None of that is in there. It's all hype. And if you don't believe me, again, click on the link, get a copy of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and read it for yourself. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to want you to do is as you're browsing the internet and you're trying to figure out how to fix your credit, okay, if you happen to stumble across another 609 video that's giving you this Flavor Flav stuff, put a link to this video and say, this is really what 609 is all about, okay? The rest of the law really talks about what has to be disclosed to you when your credit is pulled, like from a lender, and there's an adverse reaction. And the second thing is the procedures and the policies and your rights as a consumer as a victim of identity theft. That is what this law is all about. It's not about the actual dispute process. As a matter of fact, the only piece in the entire section about validation of debt or verification of debt is under C2E, where it states that there's a statement in the disclosures that they give you, again, because this is really all about disclosures, that a statement to you in your consumer report has to state that they're not required to remove derogatory information from your credit report unless it's beyond the statutes of limitations, which is established in 605, or that the information cannot be verified. That little blurb about it has to be verified, it really isn't a leg to stand on, nor does it define verification, nor does it define the process that has to be done when you dispute. So if you go back to one of our other videos about how to structure a dispute letter, we caution you against using laws, because the 609 law, if you went in and just didn't, without reading the law, quote this in your dispute letter, you're way off the mark. You've missed the boat completely, and they don't have to answer you the way that they should because you quoted the law that was wrong. Keep it simple, right? But most importantly, keep it truthful. If you are trying to use 609 to dispute accurate information on your credit report to get it deleted just because you don't want it there, you are way off the course of what we teach in credit repair. So if you're subscribing to one of these programs or one of these products that you find online and it says just buy this templated 609 letter and it's going to get everything deleted off your credit report because you have rights as a consumer, think this through. I mean, just think it through for a second. Do you really think a templated letter is going to bring this billion-dollar industry to its knees? And do you really think I'm going to sell it for a couple of bucks online? Think this through. Okay? If I could give you a templated letter that shows the wrong law on there that will get everything deleted off your credit report, trust me, I would not be sitting here right now. I'd be in my mansion in Malibu. Okay? So, what I'm going to really encourage you to do is go back and focus on the real issue at hand. If you have inaccurate information on your credit report and you need to get that information off, 609 might be a good place for you to go to understand the kinds of things that you can get. But there's other laws that are in place that are much more efficient. And if you stay tuned to our channel, we're going to be going over some of these things in future videos. Okay? But if you think the 609 law is going to get you through all that, you're way off track. But you're even more off track if you're trying to get accurate information deleted off your credit report without first addressing the behaviors that got you here in the first place. Okay? That's the real issue. And that's what credit is all about, because your credit is not a score. It is a series of behaviors that lead to a score. If you need help with that, that's where you can give us a call. For the rest of them, Flavor Flav's got you covered. In the meantime, make a choice, make a change. Delta.